Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new thriller, How Is That for a Monday? And this thriller is from director Sripal Sama, who also co-wrote this with Sai Prinath Varaju, and this film focuses on Shyam, who's played by Kushik Ghantasala, and he is an immigrant techie who winds up getting whisked into this really layered story with amateur thieves, an old man, and a billionaire. And this tackles some really big ideas from racism to police brutality and classism in its own very specific kind of way. It really casts a web of these subplots, these characters, and how they all engage with each other. I will say that I feel like at some points it gets a little complicated, and in a muddy kind of way. It gets a little bit lost in the different things it's trying to balance. And these are some big ideas that it's trying to hit on, and sometimes they don't always feel like they're really drilled down into. But the film does tackle them. It presents them. It gets you thinking in terms of some heavy things like racism and classism and those different elements. I think Shyam Kumar is a good character that we can get behind. I think Ghantasala gives a strong performance. I think Candido Carter, who plays this cop, I think he gives a really fine performance too, and they're kind of like anchoring a bit of this story. And then you have this gang of thieves who wind up turning on each other or struggling to, accomplish what they're trying to do. And it's an interesting web of subplots and characters and themes with some really rock-solid performances, a decent pace to it, and some interesting ideas and twists and turns along the way in terms of its thriller narrative. It's the kind of film that, is anchored by some rock-solid central performances. It, navigates having some complex and busy kind of narrative. And Sama directs it well, brings it together, gives a good pace, balances some like darker satire along with, the thrills of the film, and some really strong drama. And in particular, you have this character, this older gentleman who is dealing with like some health issues and is missing, and there brings a bit of mystery to it, and how his character fits into the greater scheme of things, and how all these characters fit together as well is kind of like a bit of a puzzle. And I think Sama does a fine job of piecing that puzzle together for the audience. And in the end, I think this is a solid and well made, especially for a small budgeted little thriller with some strong performances and some big ideas that it dabbles in. It doesn't really dig too deep, but it dabbles in them, and that gives some layers and some impact to this story. But those are my thoughts on How Is That for a Monday. Let me know what you think. Let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.